Hello, Los Angeles Dodgers fans. We've got fresh, exclusive videos and the latest updates just for you. Before we dive in, make sure to join our channel and hit that like button. This is the best way to stay on top of all the breaking news. The Los Angeles Dodgers just can't seem to catch a break when it comes to keeping their pitching staff healthy. The latest blow? Right-handed reliever Evan Phillips, one of their most dependable arms, has landed on the 15-day injured list with discomfort in his right forearm. Now, for any baseball fan, especially those who've watched the game long enough, forearm discomfort sends a chill down the spine. It's the kind of phrase that too often leads to dreaded outcomes, most notably Tommy John surgery. Roberts emphasized that it's all about long-term health and not risking something bigger down the road. With so many key arms already sidelined, losing Phillips for longer would be a massive hit. Roberts' explanation really speaks to the fine line teams walk this time of year. It's only early May, and while no one wants to miss games, there's a big-picture mentality in play. Roberts said that Phillips wasn't recovering the way they wanted after outings, and while he could gut it out, the smarter play was to give him a break. From a managerial standpoint, that's exactly the kind of call that separates teams that survive the grind of a 162-game season from those that burn out by July. And let's not forget, Phillips is not some middle relief afterthought. He's a high-leverage arm who the Dodgers trust in big moments. That trust extends to managing his health, too. If you're the Dodgers, you'd much rather lose Phillips for 15 days now than for 15 weeks come summer. Phillips himself echoed Roberts' cautious approach when speaking to reporters. His frustration was palpable, not because he feels injured per se, but because he genuinely believes he could still contribute. From his perspective, the soreness felt more like a natural part of ramping back up to regular season workload. After all, he missed the beginning of the season already, and pitching at full tilt in April and May after a delayed start can throw a guy's rhythm off. But even so, Phillips recognized the risk. He knows the margin for error is slim when it comes to arms. A couple bad decisions now could easily spiral into something far worse. So, while he'd rather be out there helping his teammates, he's bought into the plan. A couple weeks off, a deeper evaluation in Arizona, and hopefully a quick return. Those are the steps now. And it's not like Phillips hasn't been through a share of setbacks already this year. This forearm issue is just the latest chapter. Back in spring training, we learned that Phillips was dealing with a partial tear in the back of his right rotator cuff. That injury dated all the way back to the 2024 postseason. Yeah, the one that kept him out of the World Series. It wasn't even fully diagnosed until he underwent an off-season MRI. Talk about frustrating. To work all season long, help your team get to the biggest stage, and then miss the final act? That's brutal. And while he rehabbed that shoulder and eventually work his way back, it's not shocking that other areas of his arm might be compensating or reacting now that he's back in action. These things are all connected. That rotator cuff strain forced the Dodgers to delay Phillips' season debut, placing him on the IL to start the year. But by early April, he was making rehab appearances in AAA with Oklahoma City. Over a span of 2 weeks, he made 6 appearances, ramping up steadily. And when he returned to the big league mound, the results were stellar. 5 2/3 scoreless innings across 7 games, including a save. He looked sharp. His velocity was solid, his command was on point, and there was no obvious sign that anything was wrong. Which, of course, makes this latest development all the more frustrating for both Phillips and the team. That's baseball, though. Just when everything seems to be clicking, a small setback pops up. The key is how you handle it. And so far, Phillips and the Dodgers are handling it with clarity and control. Now, let's talk business for a moment. This past offseason, the Dodgers and Phillips avoided arbitration by agreeing to a 1-year deal worth $6.1 million. That kind of contract speaks volumes about how the organization views him. He's not just another bullpen arm. He's a guy they want in their foxhole when the pressure's highest. So it makes sense they're treating this with such care. There's no reason to push him in May if it means losing him in September. Not when you're paying him like a key contributor, and certainly not when your eyes are set on another deep postseason run. And if anyone has earned that kind of respect and patience, it's Phillips. Over the past 2 seasons, he's proven time and again that he's got the stuff and the mentality to be a difference maker at the back end of games. From a fan's perspective, this is one of those situations where you just have to trust the process. No one wants to see one of the team's top relievers sidelined, especially not with all the other injuries the Dodgers are juggling. But there's a method here, and hearing both Roberts and Phillips speak about it, you get the sense that everyone's on the same page. The goal isn't just to get Phillips back, it's to get him back right. If that takes 15 days, great. If it takes a little longer, so be it. As long as he's ready when it counts most, that's what matters. And knowing Phillips' track record, he'll do everything he can to be ready to dominate again the moment he's cleared. This isn't the end, it's a pause, and hopefully a short one at that. As for the bullpen moving forward, the Dodgers are in next-man-up mode. That's been the theme of their season already, and guys like Matt Sauer are proving they can step up when called upon. Sauer's 4-out save was a big-time moment for him personally, and it gave the Dodgers a glimpse of what he might offer moving forward. He won't be asked to replace Phillips 1-for-1, of course, but he doesn't have to. This bullpen is built on depth, versatility, and trust. And with Roberts at the helm, you know the mix-and-match strategy is always in play. Until Phillips returns, it'll be all hands on deck. And maybe, just maybe, this stretch will help forge even more confidence in some of the younger arms. In the grand scheme of things, this feels like a bump in the road rather than a full-blown detour. Evan Phillips is too important to the Dodgers' plans to be rushed back prematurely, and it's clear that everyone involved understands that. These 15 days are about healing, evaluating, and recalibrating. If the training staff's optimism proves correct, we'll see Phillips back out there soon, firing zeros and shutting the door in tight games. For now, all eyes will be on his progress in Arizona, and fans will be holding their breath that this truly is a precautionary move and not the start of something worse. But if history is any guide, betting against Evan Phillips bouncing back would be unwise. The man's a fighter, and the Dodgers will be counting the days until he's back on the bump. But before we move forward, don't forget to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest news about the Los Angeles Dodgers. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the news, so drop a comment below. It's been a tense week in Los Angeles, and if you're a Dodgers fan, you've probably felt the tremors already. The Dodgers are once again under the spotlight, not because of a walk-off win or a clutch performance by Mookie Betts, but because of dramas swirling around the bullpen. More specifically, veteran reliever Kirby Yates has found himself on the wrong side of Dodgers manager Dave Roberts. And this isn't just a subtle benching or a passive-aggressive post-game comment. Roberts made it crystal clear he doesn't want Kirby Yates on this team anymore. That's right. According to inside sources and confirmed whispers around the clubhouse, Roberts has lost patience. And when a skipper like Roberts makes that kind of statement, you better believe it's serious. The Dodgers have World Series expectations every year, and with that kind of pressure, tolerance for underperformance is practically non-existent. Now, if you're wondering how we got here, let's rewind tape a bit. Kirby Yates, once one of the most dominant relievers in baseball, came to LA with a fair amount of baggage, but also with hope. After injuries derailed his all-star trajectory, Yates was seen as a high-risk, high-reward signing by the Dodgers front office, kind of a classic Andrew Friedman gamble. He showed flashes of brilliance with the Padres and even the Braves, but consistency has always been his Achilles heel. The Dodgers hoped their elite pitching development system could smooth out the rough edges, but apparently, the experiment hasn't gone as planned. The cracks have started to show, and unfortunately for Yates, they've shown up at the worst possible moments. In high-leverage situations, with the game on the line, in front of 50,000 screaming fans at Dodger Stadium. Let's not sugarcoat it. His numbers haven't helped his case either. Yates has struggled with command all season, his ERA hovering well above what's acceptable for a team like the Dodgers. Walks have been a consistent problem, and when he's not walking batters, he's giving up hard contact. For a team that thrives on dominant pitching and analytical efficiency, a reliever who can't consistently find the strike zone becomes more of a liability than an asset. There have been outings where he's looked decent, sure. A clean inning here, a strikeout there. But they've been outweighed by too many outings where he's imploded, where Roberts had to walk out to the mound with a grimace, knowing another late-inning lead was about to evaporate. And here's where things get really interesting. Dave Roberts isn't known for throwing his players under the bus. He's a player's manager, through and through. He stood by struggling stars before: Cody Bellinger, Kenley Jansen, even Craig Kimbrell during his rocky stretch. So when someone like Roberts takes a public stance against a player, it means the situation has probably festered behind the scenes for a while. We're not talking about one bad outing or even a rough week. This feels like the culmination of repeated disappointments, missed spots, blown saves, maybe even clashing personalities in the dugout. Roberts doesn't make rash decisions, but when he makes up his mind, it's final. And right now, it sounds like Kirby Yates has hit the end of the road in Dodger Blue. So what does this mean for the Dodgers bullpen going forward? It's already a unit that's been tested this season, with injuries and inconsistency plaguing even the most reliable arms. Evan Phillips has been the rock, Buster Gratterall brings the heat, and Ryan Brazier continues to be that underrated workhorse. But without Yates, there's a spot to fill, and filling it isn't as simple as plucking someone from AAA. This team needs guys who can handle the postseason pressure, who won't blink in October. Could this open the door for a trade? Maybe. Or maybe it means a promotion for a young flamethrower like Landon Knack or Nick Frasso. One thing's for sure, the Dodgers aren't going to sit still. Not with the division tightening and the Braves breathing down their necks. You also have to wonder about the locker room dynamic right now. When a veteran like Yates gets ousted so publicly, it sends a message, not just to him, but to everyone in that clubhouse. Perform or pack your bags. It raises the standard, yes, but it also creates a sense of tension. Veterans like Freddie Freeman and Clayton Kershaw, guys who've seen it all, know how to navigate that pressure. But for the younger players, especially those trying to cement their role on the team, this kind of situation can be a double-edged sword. Some rise to the occasion, others crumble under it. That's the razor-thin margin teams like the Dodgers walk when they're chasing rings every year. There's no room for comfort. And as Roberts just proved, there's no room for sentimentality either. From a front office perspective, this move is likely aligned with a long-term vision. The Dodgers aren't just building for today. They're eyeing October, they're eyeing future seasons, they're eyeing legacy. And part of building that legacy is knowing when to cut ties. Yates might land on his feet somewhere else, maybe a lower-pressure team where he can work through his issues. But in LA, the bar is just too high. This is the same organization that had no problem moving on from guys like Matt Kemp, Yasiel Puig, and even Zach Greinke. Loyalty exists, but only to the extent that it serves the championship goal. Roberts may have spoken the words, but you better believe the entire organization is behind the decision. For Yates himself, this moment is gut-wrenching. He's battled injuries, rehabbed, grinded his way back to the bigs, only to be told, plain and simple, that he's not wanted. And not just benched or demoted. Not wanted. That stings. But baseball is cruel that way. It doesn't matter what you did 2 seasons ago or even last month. What matters is what you can do today. And in Yates' case, the answer hasn't been good enough. There's still time for him to find another chapter, but for now, the Dodgers' door looks firmly shut. And with Roberts' statement making waves across the league, the narrative is already being written. In the end, this situation is about more than just one player. It's about a team with sky-high expectations and zero tolerance for mediocrity. It's about a manager who, despite his calm demeanor, is fiercely committed to winning. It's about the reality of professional sports. Performance rules all. Kirby Yates' time in Los Angeles may have come to an unceremonious end, but the story of this Dodgers season is still being written. And with every bullpen shuffle, every roster move, the stakes get higher. October is coming, and Dave Roberts just sent a message to the baseball world. The Dodgers aren't playing around. That's all for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay up to date with exclusive news about the Los Angeles Dodgers, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We always appreciate your comments and feedback. See you in the next video.